Well, today, continuing my series on chords, I want to talk to you about a simple idea that can add interest and expand your chord vocabulary. It's the concept of what I'll call open-voiced chords. This is to be distinguished from open chords. If you watched my series on the cage system, I talked about the fact, and I'll keep reiterating this a lot of times when I'm talking about chords, is that there are 5 foundational chord shapes to guitar. Those chord shapes are C, A, G, E, and D. I'm playing just the majors. You can add minor chords. You can take 3 of those and easily make them minor. That's D, E, and A shapes. And then that gives you really 8 foundational chords. For the C and G shapes, they're not easy to make minors in open position, but you can make bar chords out of them and get, like if I want a C minor, like that, it's a G minor. But really, all that is rooted in 5 foundational chord shapes. C, A, G, E, D spells the word caged. No, that's not the caged system, but that's step 1 of the caged system. But today what we're going to do is take those 5 foundational shapes and we're going to start playing around with adding other open notes, or really we're going to play around with new positions for those shapes and hear how they sound with open strings in them. So I'll do a simple example. I'll take C major chord, everything's simple, just an open C, nothing to it. And if I take this up to the D, which is the 5th fret on that 5th string, and if we describe everything according to the top of my hand, where my index is, then you would call this a 3rd position C shape, okay? Now, if I was having you play the bar, that'd be the 2nd position. We're not barring this, okay? Because we're trying to play open voice chords. So no bars. The bar chords they can have open strings in them, but they don't by default. We're intentionally trying to add open strings. So at this 3rd position, again, top of my hand, it's a beautiful D chord. It's technically a D major add 4 or add 11, depending upon how you want to think of it and name it. So it's a beauty. Now, these types of chords are really discoverable. If you were to take that C shape and just move it up and down the fretboard, you're going to find other beauties like this. You're going to find some stinkers too. For instance, 2nd position, it's awful. So that's okay. That's diamond is going to the diamond and is going to be found in the midst of the rough. There's some more rough. So just take the C shape and move it up the fretboard. And when you find a beauty, make a note. But my favorite one, that one works, by the way, because it's an octave up, but favorite one's that one I showed you at the 3rd position. Do this with all of your C, A, G, E, D shapes. So that's C, take the A, and I'm not going to show you every great sounding one, but just get you the concept, the idea. Just move it up a half step, and it's got a beautiful sound. And we don't have to get hung up on the names of all these chords. And you could think of that as it's a B flat chord with an over A, but it's got an E natural in it, so that's like a sharp 11. It starts getting complicated. I don't always have names for these, and maybe I should start thinking of them more technically. There's a paralysis of analysis where you can overthink stuff as well, And I tend to overthink a lot. That's what makes me. That's what can make me a good teacher, but it can also paralyze you. This is going to be a stinker. This is a good one. Okay. So just move these up and down. I'm going to skip the bad ones. And you can see that I'm pretty good by memory, knowing where the good ones are. That's A shape, okay? So we can do it again for G shape. I find I don't do this one a lot with all 6 strings, to be honest. But it's okay. That one's not going to be good, but I believe. Yeah. Now you could also start experimenting with maybe taking strings out. Like that's a real clunky chord with all 6. So maybe I would play it like when I like that one at the C, which that's the 8th fret. I could say I'm at the 7th position. I'm not going to use 7 position names all the time because it gets hard to see at that top of my finger, 7th position, right? 7th fret. But I might take that one and just play the top 4 strings. I think I'm a little out of tune. Might be a useful chord, or at least a foundation, because now you have these 2 fingers free to try other things. So that's the G shape, E shape, and if that opening chord sequence, that little jam I was playing at the beginning, I'm using a lot of these. That one has a Spanish sound, doesn't it? That was a Spanish Phrygian, actually. Probably called a Phrygian dominant. It's the 5th mode of the harmonic minor. So I'm playing, starting on E harmonic. No, I'm sorry, that's an A harmonic, but I'm starting on E because that's what I said. It's the 5th mode. Because 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See? So, anyhow. On acoustic, it's real flamenco-like. There's a beauty, that's like an F sharp. Now, for this E shape, and you can do this for the A shape as well, is you can start adding in these bass notes back in there. I don't have to drone. That's a different sound than pretty cool. So there's 3rd position, that's a G. Again, could try it with the open E. I know the 5th position is going to be a beauty. Again, I like to make the A string open on this. Plus fingers, same beautiful sound. 7th position's a good one. I'm skipping the bad ones. I know where the bad ones are by now, but I want you to do what you saw me do earlier. Just go all the way up and down the fretboard and make notes on mental notes at least. Where the good ones are and where the bad ones are. And you don't have to get super analytical in the names, but I think of this one in shortcut. I think of it, it's like a B sus type chord, technically a B major add 11. I think of it as it's the 5 chord in the key of E, okay? But it also works really well if I want a suspended sound in a key of B. So I'm thinking in terms of keys, I'm thinking in terms of the number system. Watch my video on the number system. If I'm losing you on that, another beauty. And you see I'm keeping that bass note down in there. I could take it out. And of course the octave upwards. So that's the E shape, and then you have the D shape. These chords might inspire you to write songs because you think of extreme, wholehearted, that's what they're doing. I think they're taking that D shape and moving it up. And you just heard me play the first 3 chords of that song. So, and in this case, I'm leaving the open D string droning. But I could play around with putting that, well, if I do, I don't have any open voices. So it becomes a bar. But, I could play around with new open strings. Now I'm leaving the 1st string open. So you can try opening up other strings and moving these things up as well. And really, you can open up any string you want. So top string, the bottom string, middle, any of the middle strings. So these are open, I'm calling them open voicings open voice chords, I guess. Chords with some open strings in them, okay? And we're taking them and we're applying them to C, A, G, E, D shapes. You can also play around with these with minors as well. I probably have less mileage on that. Need to work on that myself, but these are just ideas to jumpstart your chord knowledge. So again, if you like the content I'm providing, please don't forget to like and subscribe. I really want to jump those numbers up. I got more stuff coming you do not want to miss. I hope you're appreciating the idea of learning guitar conceptually. That's how I teach it. So you're learning the concepts. You can take these concepts, you can apply them in your own way, customize them, individualize them. It's like I've said before, instead of giving a hungry man a fish, we're teaching you how to fish, and that will feed you for a lifetime. The concepts are things you can chew on for years and be growing as a guitarist. I'm still taking these things. Even as I teach them to you, sometimes I've forgotten about them because it's been a while since I've thought about them, and I'll go back and revisit these things, and sometimes I'll learn new things that I missed when they were fresh to me. These concepts are fresh to me years and years ago. So, you know, that's the power of concepts and conceptual learning. It's kind of like an algorithm is to a computer program, or to think encryption and encryption keys. I know I'm getting nerdy for a second, but the algorithm, it's like a formula that can unlock doors. So these unlock doors for your growth and your learning. So I hope that you're getting something out of it. Please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Until next time.